a 2008 FLHR Road King. Crank no start issue. You can hear that fuel pump, but it don't sound right. So I'm pretty sure that fuel pump isn't pumping. I've ordered a kit to put in there. But while I got that out, I'm gonna go ahead and replace that check valve line because that seems to be a failure point in these models as well. I'm gonna upload a video on this because I can't find where anybody's done a 2008 Road King, and I want to put that out there for somebody. Thanks. Okay. Got most of the fuel out. You can't see it down there, but most of the fuel's pulled out. Got her setting up level. Going to remove the seat in the console to look about getting the retaining lock ring off and go from there. Okay, piece of wood and the trusty dead blow from Harbor Freight. Love that hammer. Walk that retaining ring right out. I didn't go crazy. Very gentle taps. One at a time, all the way around, 2 or 3 times. Popped right out. No big deal. Not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that's what I did. And I'm going to need both hands. Well, I managed to get it to there. I believe that's the check valve line that's holding me up. You pop that down, that pops out, and there's a nut right here to spin off, then I should be able to free that up. Went ahead and got one of them too. I don't know about this line. This line's also a failure point, but that check valve is a failure point as well. So if for a pint, if for a pound, I like to come out new when I do something. But on with it. And so I got that out of there. It was kind of a fight. Kind of needed both hands. There's 2 clips and 2 tabs. Push down, pull out. Push down, pull out. So that ain't no big deal. But you got to roll that out, back and around to get it out. But there's the level. And there's the contraction of a fuel pump assembly. I don't see the failure point yet. I got to dig into it and take a look at it. Well, and I got a new filter housing, filter and pressure regulator installed. This is kind of aggravating. I wished I could have shown the step-by-step process because I couldn't find one, but somebody who's more capable than myself probably needs to do that. But what I will show you is the process of this filter change out. Once you remove the lock ring and pull the assembly up, you can get to this filter housing without having to take out your entire fuel pump assembly, which is a pain in the butt. And all you got to do is pull this slide pin out. It locks on top of these retainers here. There's an O-ring setting in there that compresses. You will drop this housing off. This housing is a failure point. It cracks in these older models, which is why I'm changing mine out. I did not find it cracking this, so I will save my old one just to have on hand. Once you pull that apart, what you will be looking at is a filter setting inside the housing. The O-ring will be on the arm on top. You'll change the oil ring out because your new kit comes with one. That's if you want to, if it looks good, man. This old one was actually thicker than the new one. I started wants to leave it in, but I didn't. But you take that out. I used a pair of needle nose pliers to get mine out. Because it's got a cone at the bottom that this kind of presses onto. Mine was fairly dirty, so I'm glad I'm changing it. And this bike, although it's a 2008, only has close to 5,000 miles on it. I bought it at 600 miles a few years ago, and they had claimed they had put a new fuel pump in it at that time. And maybe they had, I don't know. I can't really tell because I don't see any new fuel lines or anything. And another thing I will say on these assemblies, on this fuel pump assembly, your kit's gonna come with new fuel lines, or you might be thinking, like I was thinking, that you can get away without changing those. You're not gonna be able to do that. Them older ones are impossible to get off almost without cutting them. When I ended up having to cut my stuff apart, like that check valve line, I had to cut it off. It wouldn't just slip out, because usually you could just undo the lock nut and twist a little bit and get the check valve to come off or whatnot, but I couldn't do that. And these new fuel lines, to get these fittings in there, I had to put a little heat on this. Not a lot, just kiss it. You're not trying to melt it. You're not trying to go for wax consistency. Just a little touch of heat, and then push like crazy. A little bit of heat and push like crazy, and pop that in there. And that's how you do that. And I'm debating on changing this old one because, like I said, it was kind of a pain. But I've got one. This looks to me to be factory original. I don't know the failure point. Probably was the pump. So I'm probably going to change that as well. Just a couple of things that may be helpful for somebody. The screen down there just pops on. This just pops apart in case anybody's looking just to see how things hook up or whatnot. That's the crossover tube. It dips down into your other side of your tank. This fits up underneath the fuel cap. That's not actually a fuel cap, that's a fuel gauge. That'll be on that side of the tank. That goes up into that clip. And that's your crossover, drops over on the other side. All right, what do I mean by kiss it by a little heat? I just got that one pushed on there. Got that ready to go, but that's not just gonna slide on there because it's hard to do. You don't want to go. So I'm gonna take that end, take my handy dandy Harbor Freight heat gun, the old one. I got the old Drill Master, still works fine. I'll normally go around this. I'm not trying to get it super hot. I'm not super up on it. About 3 or 4 inches off, just trying to get it a little warm. Let's give that a shot. Yeah, sorry about that. I did drop you, but there you go. Just a little heat, not a lot. Not trying to burn it, not trying to bruise it. Just heat it up. Make it just uncomfortable to your finger. But, you know, you gotta be able to take a little bit of heat. But there you go. All right, I got that started in there. There's the other end right there. I had to have my hand on this and on that at the same time to spin them both together to keep this from binding up against the tank or down there in the valley or whatnot. You know, get it spun up in there and tighten up that jam. That jam is 7/8 of an inch, in case anybody's wanting to know. And since that's an O-ring sealing that against metal, you don't have to go crazy on that tightening, man. That wasn't super tight when I took it loose. No Loctite on it, no Teflon, no blue dope, no nothing. All right, so I got that just snuggish, and that's why I'm gonna leave it for now. And then start the process of trying to fish that fuel pump back in there. Won't be able to show that neither. I don't have a mount, and you gotta have both hands. Kind of aggravating to put it in and out, and I wished I could show somebody, because that's what I wanted to do, because I couldn't find it either. But the reason you can't find it, guys, because it's kind of aggravating, but you can do it. I may be doing this bass backwards, I don't know, but we're gonna put the level indicator in first. That slides into there, and it's just a clip up, it's no big deal. It just clips right in, no biggie. The other one's the hard part. Well, I managed to get it preliminary in there. I ended up having to take the float back out. You got to move that check line way out of the way and take that pump, put it in kind of backwards, upside down, shoot it back toward the back, then flip it, and then you'll be able to start working it in there. Let's see if that works. Make sure your float screen or your pickup screen, is in front of the little black, you can't see it, little black tube that runs with the electrical lines coming off that fuel gauge assembly. You'll want your float screen in front of that, and that's where that fuel pump's home is, down in that corner. And that's gonna work. Let's see if I can't get that level assembly back in there too. All right, well, they're both clicked into place. We just gotta hook up the level indicator wire and put the check line down there back on, and we can put the console back together. Alright, I was able to drift the locker ring back into place. This time I used a piece of PVC. Pop, 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 pop. Just keep going around until you get it 2 or 3 times. It pops right in there. No big deal. You do not have to buy that $50 tool or whatever it is. That ain't no big deal, guys. You can do that. All right. Let's click the fuel line back into place. That's all there is to that. I've already poured my fuel back into it. May end up having to go get some more, and we had a couple of gallons in there. Let's see if we hear the fuel pump. I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing. Oh, there we go. Let's let it prime. I do need to go get some more fuel, but ladies and gentlemen, we now have a running Harley Davidson once again. Thank you very much. Like, comment, and subscribe, please.